Hey guys, what's going on? Today's video will be the Q&A with TackleJunky. You guys asked a bunch of good questions in my last video where I was talking about how I sell my old tackle that I don't use anymore. I really appreciate all the good questions here. Most likely this will be a two-part video. You know, it'll be hard to get all these questions in one video and keep it short, so keep a lookout for that second part. Let's get right into it with Tweety Bear. What state are you in and how would you recommend to find new ponds? I live in Illinois. And Google Earth would be the best way to find new ponds. You know, type in your area, you can scope it out, and hopefully find a new honey hole. You know, Google Earth. Next up, Ryan Garret. What specs would you want a rod for spooks and stuff, but still extremely versatile? So basically a top water rod that you can throw other lures on. Let me scan over here to the rods. I'd go with it's the Akuma TCS Martin APC. It's an all-purpose rod. It's a 6'9", medium heavy. Lure weight is 1/8 to 3/4. This is my my main spinnerbait rod. I can toss chatterbaits on here. I've thrown crankbaits on it, but it still has a soft enough action where you won't tear out those hooks. So, like I said, got plenty of backbone with a softer action. I'd recommend this rod for a good multi-purpose rod. You know, something that you can throw your top waters, like I said, plus other baits as well, your spinnerbaits, chatterbaits, you know, moving type baits. This is a great rod. Me personally, for spooks and all that this year, I'll be throwing a 6'6". It's I believe it's a medium plus with a moderate action. I'll be using that rod for, you know, some square bills, mostly top waters and jerk baits, but a good all-around rod. I'd step it up to the 6'9" here, Martin APC, retails for $140. Next up from Will Yontech. How do you store your paddle tails and what are your top 3 paddle tails? Kitex, Kitex, and Kitex. You know, the swing impact fats, guys. Great swim bait here. Been using these for years. I've tried a few other ones. You know, I always come back to this one here. And, you know, they got a great color selection. They're not really durable, but you'll get a few fish out of each one. But like I said, killer color selection. Got a great action to it. And they just get the job done. So for now, pretty much all I use are the swing impact fats. As far as storage goes, Plano 3700 series waterproof box. I don't have them in the box yet, obviously it's empty. But you know, I've stored swim baits in these boxes before, never had any issues at all. You know, these containers or whatever, the clamshells take up so much space. It just it's a lot easier for me to store them in the box. I just make sure that the compartments are full, that way they're not really moving around too much. The tails stay nice and straight. I never had any issues at all with the Plano boxes for my swim baits. We got a good one here from David Ford. In one hand you have 3 rod and reel combos, in the other hand you have one Plano box, one 3600 Plano box. What are your rod and reel combos and what's in your Plano box? Square bills, spinnerbaits, swim jigs, new jigs, and Velcros. As far as the 3 rods go, it'd be these 3 Akuma setups I have right here. These are the 3 rods that I used the most last season. We have the Akuma TCS. It's a 7-foot heavy. It's got a moderate action to it. Great for your bottom bouncy baits. It's really my go-to swim jig rod. Great for frogs, things like that. Jigs. Akuma TCS. Crankbait jerkbait rod. 7-foot medium plus. That's my go-to cranking rod. That's the rod that I probably talked about the most last year. And then the 6'9" Martin APC. That's the 3 most versatile rods that I own. I mean, I can get a whole lot done with those 3 rods. Pair those up with the, you know, the Akuma TCS. That's a 6'6". You know, I could use that gear ratio for all 3 combos and be good to go. That's 3 combos that I would have with those baits. Erins Fishing and Outdoors 2300 asked, will you ever try to make your own lure? That would be sweet. Most likely I will not. You know, I just don't have time for it. You know, there's plenty good lures on the market these days.
The Freshwater Spinner Crank.
And, you know, I don't really see a reason for me to make my own. But it would be cool, I don't have the time for it. The Mass Hole Fisherman. Do you prefer Akuma or Daiwa reels? You know, it's really a toss-up. Been using the Daiwa for years. You know, excellent reel. You know, I have nothing really bad to say about Daiwa. The only complaint I really have with their reels is the mag braking. I wish that dial was more recessed in the side plate because I'm constantly turning that with my thumb. You know, as you got the reel, as you set the hook or whatever, you know, as you move your hand around, I'm constantly turning that dial. and you know, I'll make a cast, all of a sudden, you know, I have like zero distance on my cast, and I look at the dial here and I've moved it. So I mean, that's really a big pain in the butt. I wish it was just more recessed in the side plate like the Bass Pro reels. But other than that, you know, performance wise, you know, it's hard to beat the Daiwa reels. Great reel here. CT retails 130 bucks, you know, good price point as well. You guys know that I've become a huge fan of the TCS equipment from Akuma the last year or two. You know, again, hard to beat the TCS reel here. This one's a little more expensive, retails at 200 bucks. But you know, with this reel, you're gonna get more of a compact feel. It palms really nice, super comfortable, much lighter weight than the CT there. You know, it really depends what you're looking for. Like I said, it's really a toss up between both brands. I like them both, but you know, you really can't go wrong with either one. I would choose whatever one is in your price range. Me personally, like I said, I like them both, but Akuma or Daiwa. Hard to pick just one. Hookmaster 0880. Your favorite time to go fishing, and what do you use to go fishing during that time? Oh man, that's a tough one. You know, spring and summer, I'm going to say summer really is my favorite time to fish. You know, I like fishing in the heat, and if you guys have watched the channel, you know there will be a square bill in my hand majority of the day. You know, I like fishing in the summer heat with a square bill. EP Fishing. What is your favorite jig to use? As far as like a pitch and jig goes, you know, something like, not a swim jig, as far as like a pitch and jig type deal, hard to beat the new TackleJunky new jig. Here's one here, one of my favorite colors, Crawdad Brown. It's got that dual weed guard. Rotates to vertical on the hook set. Trocar hook. Really, really nice jig here. If you guys would like to order some new tech lures, new jigs, or anything else on the site, you guys can use my code TJ81 to get 15% off. But that would be my go-to jig right there. As far as the swim jig goes, I like the, I think I got one laying around here somewhere, Picasso. It's got much more of a tapered head to it, comes through grass much better. That's what I would go to for my swim jig. But just a regular old jig, gotta be the new tech. Pedro Sanchez, have you ever fished in Canada? No, I have not. Matthew Spranger, can you put a SV spool in the Zillion 100H? The older Zillion, the TWS, I believe that spool is bigger. So the new Zillion that has the SV spool, I don't believe it'll fit in that older model. I could be wrong, but I don't believe it will. GRK Sportsman, what's your favorite brand line for fluoro and braid? Fluoro has got to be Seagar, and braid has to be Sunline FX2. Jackson Stewart, what is your favorite childhood memory, and what is your favorite jig, and how do you use it? Thanks so much. Favorite childhood memory? That's a tough one, to be honest. I started working at a young age. I don't have a whole lot of, like, you know, really younger type memories. You know, fishing with my dad was always a good time. You know, we did a lot of catfishing when I was younger. You know, probably I'd say, yeah, just fishing with my old man. It was a good time. As far as my favorite jig goes, how do I use it? It'd be a new TackleJunky new jig, and just pitching that around docks, lay down, stumps, things like that. Little Valcraw trailer on there, and you're good to go. Moken Angler, why don't you fish tournaments? Are you ever going to get a new boat? No, I probably won't fish tournaments. I mean, majority of the tournaments are on the weekends, and I work every single weekend. Been doing that for over like 20-something years. You know, I don't see me fishing tournaments anytime soon. I mean, I do like little buddy tournaments, you know, with some of my friends, but as far as like actual tournaments, no, I don't see me doing that anytime soon. As far as new boat goes, she still looks pretty good. You can see I just cleaned her all up, gave her an acid bath, get new tires on Wednesday, and I'll be good to go. So I gotta get my numbers put on though. So a couple more weeks, I should be on the water. Dicky Haskins, any frog videos for 2017? By the way, good video. Second question, you throw jerkbaits, boss man. What's going on, Dicky? So your frog videos, I mean, you guys know I don't record a ton while I'm fishing, but I mean, more and more of you guys are asking for it. You know, I do plan to get a couple GoPros, and I get the boat all rigged up. Be honest, fishing is like, it's upon us, like almost like now. I mean, weather's really changing. It caught me off guard. My boat still isn't quite ready yet. I'm trying to, I gotta get my numbers on, I gotta get new tires on there, and I may not have my GoPros for another month or two, so I mean that's the plan. Don't hold me to that, but I mean I do have a plan to do more fishing videos. We'll just see how that goes. But jerk baits, I don't throw them too often, mainly early spring and fall, but I don't throw them on the lakes that I normally go to. I wait till I go to a more of a clear water lake. I just feel that's where they shine the most. Next up from Squiddy's Freshwater Fishing. Squiddy's Freshwater Fishing, hopefully I said your name right. How old were you when you started hardcore fishing? I mean, I've been fishing majority of my life, mainly bluegill and like, you know, catfishing with my dad when I was younger. As far as bass fishing goes though, like hardcore, I'm gonna say, what am I? I'm 35, gosh, I'm old man. I'm gonna be 36. Probably when I was 20 or so, 21, you know, probably 14, 15 years, you know, before I was really hardcore bass fishing. Guys, I think we're going to end this one right here. Keep a lookout for part 2, and we'll talk to you soon. You guys like the video? Remember, give me that thumbs up.